Who is Allah? You know, it's hard not to get emotional. It's hard not to be blown away by Allah's characteristics. Allah's always willing to give you more than what you give him. Ar-Rahman, Ar-Rahim, Wadud, Mutakabbir, Halim, Rabb al-Alameen.
Another name that I really like is Ar-Razzaq.
Of course you like that, man. Of course this geezer. Of course he likes Ar-Razzaq.
Fulus. Assalamu alaikum.
We're ready.
Maybe
we're not ready.
Yeah. Backed by popular demand. Man woke up, world's up booking.
The engineer said, guys, whenever you're ready. Maybe we're not ready. Or maybe I'm not ready.
You're not ready.
Guys.
What time did you wake up?
Tell the story, man.
So we planned the EP. Yeah, we knew the booking. Well, I knew the booking was at 8:30 a.m. Yeah, planning the EP now. And I called him last night. I belled him, and I'm like, "Yo, let's wake up for Fajr, inshallah, and so we can pray and then talk through the EP." And he goes, "Calm, yeah." But I'm calling this guy at Fajr. First call, he hasn't picked up. I'm thinking, okay, calm.
Bro, I saw it. It was just shaitan. He stopped me. I saw it. Wallahi, I saw it.
Second time I've called him, nothing. Third, fourth, and the time's creeping up. It's gone from like 4:30 a.m. to about 6, and I'm thinking, ooh, yeah, 6:30, 7 a.m.
You called my wife.
Yeah, bro.
The guy called my wife.
Because I didn't know.
Who is Allah?
The big question.
What comes to mind?
Ar-Rahman.
Oh, him. You can keep it going, bro.
Al-Malik al-Quddus.
Al-Ghafur.
Al-Wadud.
Al-Hay.
Fa'alun lima yurid.
Allah has so many names, you know. Lahu al-Asma al-Husna, right? He has the most perfect names and
99 of them.
Right. And
more actually.
Yeah, exactly.
More than 99.
Right.
But we only know 99.
And how many of us actually ponder or stop to think about those names and the attributes of Allah?
Yeah.
I think every Islamic discussion has to start with Allah and who he is, and are we conceptualizing Allah in our brain properly?
So I think that even in today's society, when you look at like illnesses and people kill themselves because of depression, because of being lonely, right? I mean, think of the tranquility that knowing that you're never alone, what that can do to a person. And
to touch on what you said about, you know, people, we have to use certain terms, unaliving themselves because of the algorithms and this and that.
Fair.
I was watching I saw a small clip and they were just talking about, and they were touching on, and may Allah have mercy on our brothers who are over there, and sisters and children and everyone. You don't hear about people unaliving themselves in
never
in Gaza or
never
Palestine.
Never.
Because the connection
is strong,
and the strength of Iman and their connection with Allah is so strong that even there's higher rates.
Even though you can make the argument
there's higher rates of here than there.
And you can make the argument that they have more of a reason to do so.
Exactly. That's exactly what the woman was saying. She was saying she was saying you don't hear about it, and guess what? You're just never gonna hear about it because they don't do those things because they're so connected with Allah. So I done some research on the Arabic word Allah. What does Allah actually mean? Because for a long time the word Allah for me and you was a word of comfort. For me and you was a word of importance. It was a word of, you know, majesty. But for a lot of people, especially living in the West and the UK, you know, the word Allah can get people's back up. When they hear that word, they can almost be on the defense already. If someone hears Allahu Akbar, they might think
panicking.
They might think in 5 seconds
they're crossing the road.
Do you know what I mean? Something might go off, and I'm not trying to be funny or trying to make the deen a joke, but this is if they heard Allahu Akbar,
it's mad.
Do you get me?
Funny,
you can't just say those things.
Tell you a quick story. Oh, actually, I don't know.
And look at your name.
Come on.
You've had to grow up with that.
Do you know what I mean?
So what, do you know what I mean? Osama.
Yeah, that's a mad one.
You was going through it. I know you was.
Nowadays it commands respect when I walk into.
Stop it. So the name Allah, I don't think people talk about how that name alone had a lot of stigma attached to it based on what's going on in the media and how strong the media is. So I wanted to get back to the essence of where did the name Allah come from, that linguistically. So I've done a bit of research and I saw that there's a scholarly debate between it, right? Is the word Allah, they call it ism al-mushtaq, or is it ism al-jamid? Meaning, does the word Allah, is it derived from something, or is it its own word? So like kind of like the word kitab.
Yep.
Kataba. It has a ka, a ta, and a ba from the root. And then, so that's a mushtaq because it has a root. Kataba, yaktub.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then
to write.
Right. And then, so one group of scholars said, yeah, it is a mushtaq. It comes from ilah. And when you put the al, definitive article, in front of ilah,
It's the.
Exactly.
Yeah, translates.
Alif goes.
Al translates to the.
It turns into lam, what do you call it? Sunlan, Shamsiya, and then it turns into Allah.
Yeah.
So it comes from the word ilah.
Yeah.
That's what.
So al-ilah is Allah, which in translation would be the God.
God, the only God, the God.
The God.
Definitive.
Quite literally means the God.
Definitive article, the God. Which God? The God, the only God, right?
Yeah.
And then a group of scholars differed on that, and they said actually they believe it's jamid. It doesn't come from anything, similar to the word shams, similar to the word qamar.
Yep.
Those words don't derive from anything.
Yeah. So there's always a feminine and masculine way of referring to things in Arabic. Even so in the English language. I think the thing that really stuck out to me the most when researching about the name Allah is that not only is it unique in it's the God, but it's also not masculine, nor is it feminine.
Right. It just is what
It's just Allah.
It's not gender.
Whereas if you look at other languages, for example, the English language that we communicate in, you have God and goddesses.
Right.
You're able to make that distinction.
Right. That's why I don't really like using the word God.
Do you know what I mean? It doesn't feel befitting because someone can turn around and say goddess, and whereas Allah is there is no masculine, there is no feminine.
Yeah.
Allah is Allah.
That's it. And people might ask, oh, but you know, in the Qur'an it says huwa, kul huwa Allahu ahad.
Yeah.
But that's linguistic.
That's just
that doesn't indicate that Allah is a male or a female. Astaghfirullah. Yeah.
Laysa kamithlihi shay.
Exactly.
Nothing is like him. When he says Basmala, he's referring to Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim.
Before you recite any Qur'an.
Before you recite in the Qur'an.
Yeah.
Which translates to in the name of Allah, the most merciful, the most beneficent.
Yeah.
And already, just in the Basmala, you have 3 names of Allah. You have Allah himself, right? Then you have Ar-Rahman.
Yeah.
And then you have Ar-Rahim.
Yeah. Which are similar. They come from the same root, guys.
Yep.
And scholars have spoken about there's
The difference.
intricate differences, but yeah, they're similar.
Yep.
Go on, yeah.
Now, you touch on the differences.
I was reading, they said one, Rahman is, there's an opinion that Rahman is Allah's mercy upon all things.
All creation.
Right?
Encompasses everything.
And there's an opinion that Rahim is the mercy that Allah will have on the believers specifically.
Yep.
And that's an opinion.
Yep.
So, yeah. So they are still similar.
Yeah.
Because it's Rahman, Rahim, they come from Ra, Ha, and Mim.
Mim.
Right? And
Rahama.
And actually, funny you touch on the word Rahim, Rahman, because, for example, guys, Rahim, Rahman, Rahma, which is a name, which means mercy, but it can be a name for a female.
Yeah.
And then you have Raham, which in Arabic is the womb. Raham, Raham means womb.
Yeah.
So, you know, a womb is a place of mercy.
Yeah.
From your mum to the child.
Yeah,
she keeps you there for 9 months and nurtures you and makes sure you get everything you need. So the actual Arabic word for womb is Raham.
Yeah.
How amazing is that? And how
where life comes from.
Right. And how much is, you know, the womb a place of mercy that the mum has for the child.
A place of nurturing, a place of...
And Allah is way more merciful to us than our mother could ever be.
Yeah.
So I loved it when I was going down the pigeonhole of what is Rahman? Rahman, what does that mean, you know? Yeah.
Another name that I really like is Ar-Razzaq.
Of course you like that, man. Of course this geezer. Of course he likes Ar-Razzaq.
Fulus.
1 billion. You're the guy when he went, the Nigerian guy. What did he say? 1 billion. 1 billion.
No, funny enough, one of the reasons why I liked it was, like you said,
because you like money.
That, but as a kid, when you thought of Ar-Razzaq, you always thought money. Do you know what I mean? You always thought money.
We simplified it.
Do you know what I mean? You simplified it and dumbed it down, sort of. But I remember growing up. I remember one time, my dad must have heard me making dua, and he started explaining al-Razzaq. And he said, of course, when you want rizq, from a financial sense, you ask, of course. But he was saying rizq isn't necessarily just money.
Right.
A job.
Your wife.
Your kids. All of these constitute rizq.
And a righteous wife is the best provision. Is that a hadith?
Yeah. No, I don't know if it's hadith.
I'm not sure. We'll double check, guys. Sorry, don't kill me.
But either way, it's right.
Yeah, a righteous wife is the best provision you can have in the whole world.
So that's what. So when my dad was telling me, when you ask for rizq, don't simplify it to just money.
Right.
When you ask for rizq, understand that Allah might not make you a millionaire, but He might give you 10 children.
Right. Think big.
Do you know what I mean?
And don't restrict it.
And Allah knows whether making you a millionaire is a better thing or making you have a father of 10 children. Because Allah knows which one's better for you.
Because He's Al-Alim.
Al-Alim, there you go. In another one.
He has
all knowledge.
So He knows when you need something, how you need it, how many of it.
Yeah.